start by welcoming our new superintendent. And she and I had a chance to meet virtually right after she came on board, and we had a great meeting. And I will tell you, as an able and new representative with superintendent experience, the first thing she basically said to me was, we need more money. We need more state aid. So, shy she is not, which is a good thing. But we started working on a couple of things, and we have one little project that's going to be real neat for the students. We have a couple of Broadway productions coming out that will be done for the school district at no cost to the district, which is great. A little culture that always enhances things. But I just wanted to, I certainly don't want to take away from the superintendent. I want to give you an update on Kings Park and just tell you what's going on. While you may not read about it every day, we are still plugging away. And I think when I've been here before, you know that I have been very direct and very blunt. The Parks Department is horrible. They are doing a lousy job. The commissioner, in my estimation, is an abysmal failure. And she has not met her responsibilities as a commissioner here in the state of New York. Since Carol Ash came in, we have basically fought with her nonstop, which is certainly not my inclination. It's not my disposition. For those of you who know me, I want to get things done. I want to make things happen, and we're trying to do that, but we are literally banging our head up against the wall. That 4-month issue with the town of Smithtown, with all due respect, pales in comparison to the angst and the frustration that we have in dealing with the Parks Department. However, we are still forging ahead. In my estimation, the commissioner, first of all, they still have not taken a public position supporting the park. And under their theory, they can administratively overturn the park, which essentially means that they could do the same thing for Sunken Meadow, Jones Beach, Planting Fields, Nissequogue State Park. Of course, that's not going to happen. But they have not made a public statement, either through the commissioner or through the governor, that they're going to maintain it as a park. I've said it before. I don't believe anything they say until they do that. We have been banging them. We ask for meetings. We follow up with phone calls. We write letters. We are persevering and being dogged because this is really important. And it is important to Kings Park. It is important to Smithtown, Suffolk County, Long Island, and the state of New York. Go back to the very basic premise. The people who polluted it should be the ones who fix it, and that is the state of New York. And this year, in this year's budget, we had gotten $25 million 2 years ago, and this year we got an additional $4 million. And when I say we, I'll lay it out for you. I got that put in the budget. That was on my wish list, and that got put in the budget. So that's $29 million. And when I say I am representing this community. It's not about me, it's about what's good for this community. So there's $29 million, which has never happened. The Parks Department has been going back and forth on an RFP as to who could come in and study the cleanup. In my opinion, there's been plenty of studying done. If they could do something in a timely fashion, it would be a lot more helpful. So I'm consistently pessimistic about the commissioner, but I'm still optimistic about the long-term ability to get something done at the park there. Now, I want to focus on one point, and that is people have talked about, well, maybe we should segment and start a cleanup in a part of the park. The problem with that is that you cannot trust these people. I work for the state of New York, and I'm telling you that. I won't trust them until there's a master plan. I won't trust them until they look at a whole way to do this, because what they'll do is they'll clean up the parts they want, and then they're going to come back to you and me and say, you know, we ran out of money. We're going to have to sell off this part, and we're going to have to develop it. That's not the way it should be done. So there are those. I'll give you an example. I got an email from a local civic leader in the last week or so maligning me for my efforts, saying I'm not doing anything. It's absolute garbage. It's ludicrous. I am working every single day in pushing on this issue because it's very important to all of you. I don't forget that. We got the $29 million, and I had a screaming match last week with the commissioner. I invited her to come down here. July 23rd, I wrote her a letter. I invited her to come down here. I said, give me a date in September. I want you to meet with the community. You give me the date. You come down and give them an update on what's going on. We called 3 times in August. Nobody called us back. People were on vacation. They finally got back to us. We called in September. I finally left a message with the governor's office. Either you do something or there's going to be hell to pay. She finally called me back, and we had it out last week on the phone. And the irony is, this is hysterical. She calls me. We have a bad connection on the phone. I said, give me the number where you are. I'll call you back. So she gives me the number, and I call up. The irony is, she calls me from Bethpage. She's on Long Island in September. I'm trying to get a date for her to come out here to meet with you so you can see what we're dealing with. So I want to leave you with this. I'm not giving up. And I'm not going to go halfway down the road, even when some people, misinformed I might add, are saying that we should do something differently. Until there's a firm commitment and a real overall commitment, I'm not giving up. And I'm not giving in, because that is bad for this community. And that has a ripple effect on everything. All the businesses here, everything that goes on in the community, the school district, state aid, this has to be continued like a laser-like focus. So if you hear anything about people who are elected officials outside this town promising money, I can tell you there's $29 million in the New York State budget for a cleanup of this property. Not a promise for anything else. That's the only real money that's there. I won't even go into all the things that we've been able to do with the Chamber and the Educational Foundation and a lot of programs here, and that's the way it should be. It's all important stuff to this community. And I absolutely look forward to working with the superintendent and the school board because, let's face it, everybody knows we're in for a rough road coming down the pike. But that's all the more reason to make sure that the quality of life issues like Kings Park and Nissequogue River State Park get taken care of. I got to run back to Smithtown. I came by because I think this is important.